Just me don't go.
Just Samu, good morning.
Good morning.
Now what you saying?
I'm here to be fine. Now I was to say.
Kakra, God is in control.
God is in control. Okay. Friday you know.
Sir, Yami Adma Thursday. Me no 1 week.
Okay.
I would actually
okay.
Dachi omo no. Community center ona.
Okay. As a uko Dachi Pam society. Okay.
So Dachi na America. Haya Dachi onye Pam so de no.
Oh, okay. Enye
no.
Dachi. I just
Dachi.
Ura bonri hona.
Ura hona.
Oh, okay.
Dachi ona. Hona ebedi 1 week nintino. Ade achi ana ese. The birthday no so the ashisha so nti. Nana ampem da ko a awodi kan. Kusiase oba hima odafom nti nyame adoma Thursday.
Okay.
And ibidi 1 week no kama pa. Evi yankoi.
Okay. Yankona ye komo kaka.
Okay.
Of course the big one is the semi-final of the Club World Cup, and then the subsequent conversations that cost to her. Which have you asked yourself, say, Brazilian Premier League anymore? What is the position of Fluminense?
I see.
Like on the league, you know, on the league table, ain't no more that.
Actually, me check it.
Fluminense is not traditional top 3 team of Brazil. In fact, Cruzeiro, Botafogo, Flamengo, Santos, Palmeiras in recent times are even better than Fluminense. And when we say Gabi, a story be at the end now, I can say Fluminense for manager and say whatever happens, although I'm more respect for Chelsea, this is not the last point for them, because even in Brazil teams nearby, you know. You can pick your phone and check Brazilian Premier League. I think the last time I checked, sit. I'm carry regular top 4. Sit in the corner this season. Last season, they struggled to stay in afloat our Brazilian top flights in him. So they are not a team that naturally, maybe are over the regular Brazilian team or by Europe. Even the old Club World Cup format, and can you Fluminense in a beba, can you Santos, can you Palmeiras, can you Flamengo, maybe a Vasco, not Fluminense. So it is a story of 2 underdogs of the sort. Yebabe started Club World Cup. Nobody expected say Chelsea Yebabe Club World Cup the semi-final. I don't think even amongst the South American clubs, if you talk about River Plate, you talk about Boca Juniors and the rest of the Brazilian teams, anybody expected Fluminense to get to where they've gotten to? It's the 2 teams that, in terms of expectations, maybe both of them have exceeded. But of course, who the Fluminense any Chelsea to do in Senyeswa, you have the conversation on a lot of things. The resources are available to Enzo Maresca and Mantiano are way too much than Fluminense for no. The quality of players, Sika Etiomo, style of play, but Chelsea have that advantage over Fluminense. Now, in Enzo Maresca called pre-match press conference. Maresca didn't come on, and that's what Gabi was telling you. Maresca Casano say, oh, yeah, European class no. Ya boy season ya boy na yanji break. And me kind number of matches I'm as a Chelsea manager. Mabo 63 games. And the Brazil journalism was the senior and was here. Fluminense for a match, you remember 70 matches. Rich. This was exactly the facial appearance of Maresca one kasa. Any different picture. This was exactly Maresca and him. Abra journalist they catch and say Fluminense for about 70 matches in the same time frame. And so Maresca can be no.
Oka kwajini di.
Ah, saka. Oka ko so ya bre. E ya be dura.
Kwara refer
see the guy. Baby ya o na do. Ya go big show.
Yeah, about 70.
70.
Ya about 63 we are complaining.
About 7 more matches than you. Yeah. It is Johnny Okan. And it is true. Brazil for the league end year. Me too say time now. Name a call Santos no. Oko play kakra. Yet yes league na ended. Then they did playoff. Na league is starting here. How league is ever be here? Now be here a little bit clumsy for them. So they've played a lot of matches. Rich, whatever happens today, say Chelsea sha. The conversation will be that Fluminese. Partner of fast was easy. I said this last week. Say partner Chelsea Namson. And yet as difficult as Madrid mo partner, but trickier. Iti Chelsea anya ni nyoma ye. Na odi say the team say Palmeiras Fluminese. Na nusu betino na Fluminese abon 2-0. Na nusu betino na 1-0 na Botafogo. And share Paris Saint-Germain be AC. Then the game has ended. You wouldn't know how the game will pan out. Then you are out of the competition. So Chelsea has to find a way to win this game without being complacent. And that is the tax that for me is ahead of Chelsea for me. How they go into the game without being complacent against Al Hilal. Fluminese for 1 year, Jumano. Almost striker friend Hercules and Martinelli. Very, very stubborn players up top for team friend Fluminese. And you need to find a way to deal with them. Only said net, Levi is suspended. I think that Nyebesi Biano, either one or two of Chelsea players ever go in an unnatural position. Levi is out. So it means that the two centre backs that are likely to start will be tossing any better friend Trevor Chalobah. Now, Trevor any natural left-footed centre back. But ideally, Trevor will have to play at the left-sided area, tossing as a CCB. Reece James back into the team. He trained fully. He will start. And then save for better friend Marco Correa. Minaya. In Chelsea Fiifi-Manfred. Given what Andre Santos did against Palmeiras, Chelsea should find a way to start him. And Maresca and Andre Santos as part of the midfield three. So we would have had Andre Santos, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Then the problem will now be the balance of the children. Chelsea building up a 3-1 or 3-2. 3 centre backs here. There is no need to invert Reece James into the middle of the park. I know that for Enzo Maresca, because he has to play one of his players in an unnatural position, he will be tempted to invert a branch of any Reece and membership fee next to Caicedo. Now, my branch of a fellow tossing Adrabio as a CCB, then play a branch of friend Trevor Chalobah as the right centre back, then play a branch of friend Marco Correa over here. I don't think that works for me. Unless I start a bench of friend Joao Pedro. So put Joao Pedro as a natural left winger there. Then you can go with this plan. Then Kopama floats from the right hand side. But I don't like that. I would rather want say you will sacrifice Trevor Chalobah as a left centre back out of this area. Then Marco Correa more like 11. Over keeping with them at Chelsea on the left hand side. Tosin Adrabio as the CCB in this area. Then Reece James part of the back three. Nuenya Andre Santos sitting like the Yehuya against Palmeiras. Maresca Caicedo next to him. Enzo Fernandez next to him. Kopama now floats on the left half space in this area. Then, of course, you play your right winger in Abrantia friend Joao, Abrantia friend Pedro Neto in this area. Then Kopama be floating kakra, Nicholas Jackson will come in. Then Abrantia friend Marco Correa ebe ball home. And there are two reasons why I say this. Say over against Fluminese for now all throughout the game. When you look at data, almost average possession of somewhere around 48%. It means that almost time kita ball. Almost jai ball ma ball. And I'm expecting the Chelsea phone will hold on to the ball.
So it means that I'm quick.
I'm game plan no. Hercules
1, 2, 3.
Any Martinelli no. I'm game plan no. Quick, they transit and then they hit you. We've seen this competition. Say, anytime we are Chelsea are taking the lead, maybe apart from the game against LA Galaxy, a friend is saying, first game at Chelsea, Los Angeles for no. Every time Chelsea first goal, they concede a goal in the second half. The only team won't concede a goal in the first half of the competition at Chelsea, but in the second half against Benfica, against Flamengo, against Palmeiras, Chelsea finding team in Kelly off games, and a big issue for Chelsea and Enzo Maresca going into this game. And this was the shaper. Now I can say Marco Correa here, Levi Cole, anyone of them. So this is going to be replaced by Brantia, your friend Tosin Adrabio, then Trevor Chalobah, then the single sixth should be Andre Santos. Rich, now coaches now almost heavy on positional playing. I don't person protect young players. Inti on person young player nearby and Albert Tonatum so unconquerable. But I think that Andre Santos against Palmeiras was excellent. And then no Enzo Maresca and Sakai. Allow the boy to play in the middle. Let him be flanked by Caicedo Enzo. Na Kopama and near the roaming 10 or no. Then you have Joao Pedro Neto on the right. Marco Creabe keeping waiting on the left. Then you have a proper striker. This case because Liam Delap out in a branch friend Nicolas Jackson. I think that Jackson has to start in this match. When you say Chelsea for the baby now would want Joao Pedro because of the come, you know. I still think Enzo Maresca best start here branch friend Nicolas Jackson. Rich, and your game I see didn't come gidi bia. Imagine this annotation on your tactical board with James as part of the back three, tossing Levi Cole anyhow, so that is going to be Trevor Chalobah. Then a midfield pair of Santos and Caicedo. This will be exciting power. Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer. Then, of course, for me up top, it's not going to be Joao Pedro but then Nicolas Jackson. I think Chelsea should be good enough in that regard. Chelsea Bebo against a strong Fluminese sider. Omwa Branche friend Thiago Silva. Now Thiago said, "Unim say Chelsea boys no deficiencies kakra. No be catch Fluminese for technical team no." No prepare for them. And at Chelsea in Crano, Andre Santos said, no by England. No. Thiago Silva and Buana man settle in. But and on the field of play any rival. And then you senior man Simbia. Or by the Juman walk of final. I think that ene a very, very exciting. No bisa Enzo Maresca and na. Say noni madweke saying some going to Arsenal near the Adeno. How far? Obekwana. According to Enzo Maresca, a noise. Or say I don't have any doubts that if we need Noni, he will help us. I can understand when there is noise around you, it's difficult to deal with that. And as it stands now, and now Arsenal for the 45 million buy, Chelsea haven't accepted. We'll see how sad deal will go through. In the next few days, Chelsea have to do a lot of sales. You better sound community later. Now, Rich, Enra, do you know what happened? Barca for now and Shane here. After the Nico Williams saga, there's going to be a Luis Diaz saga. Mundo for one report now say oh how many Nico agents didn't come, how many Luis Diaz agents didn't come he will not give them any conditions and all of those things, which makes sense and it was true in their own reportage. My analysis of the conversation was that Liverpool for Everton Darwin Nunez and Napoli, you should be careful. Again, the fact that they've lost Luis Diaz, I think it's going to be a huge decision factor for Liverpool Football Club. Whether or not the player says he wants to go. The player that you can push as long as you want to go, but say, oh, club, now count 2 years or contract, so a club can decide they don't want to sell you. You only have to be professional and play your football. And when you're free, acquire. Not build the phone, they have a tournament. From Platigo and the likes, the German outlet. I want to say, they have made contact to Liverpool. I'm making contact to Liverpool. Liverpool, I catch you, I'm clear. So I'm going to tell Luis Diaz.
So the Liverpool can do that.
That's what I'm saying. Liverpool can clear, and of course, the Liverpool can Bayern is on told Luis Diaz. Bayern who can pay more, and then in front of Mundo say Bayern can pay more for Luis Diaz.
Which is true.
So even them who can pay more, Liverpool attended they don't sell. From Germany, their wind that is blowing that almost only Luis Diaz agents didn't come. And the agent has also told them that, there's some pay there, you bet me about. We can always help you to come get out of Liverpool. You bet the things that Liverpool need so that you can get the boy Luis Diaz out of it. I know that they want him. Barca for a pen, Bayern for a pen. And Rich, when Yama Luis Diaz in Saint-Semen are very, very interesting in Liverpool. And then, so Ura Bayern, they've lost 3 key players. 1 short term, 2 long term, in fact 2 forever. Omalusi Lora Izani to Galatasaray. He's gone. Omalusu Abrantia friend Thomas Muller. Wafi club in him. They've lost Abrantia friend Jamal Musiala in the short term from Saha injury the broken fibula over the last few days. So it means that they are short-staffed in terms of attackers. Aka Kingsley Coman, Aka Sek Gnabry, Aka Harry Kane. This is not enough. Michael Olise, if you add that to it, just for all of that competitions, it means that Bayern, no matter what you do, will buy somebody. The last time we stood direct for our branch friend Nick Voterman and in the buy, but he's a young player. They want to take their time for our branch friend Nick Voterman, and that is why they believe strongly. See, Luis Diaz was our left-hand side or a player that they have to go for. So from now to the transfer window, it's going to happen. And then I make catch say, whichever fan you are, first your team, say clubs no end say bargaining power is important in transfer negotiations. So the first thing they focus on is to make sure say they win the media war. And Barca have done it brilliantly well. Madrid put on me a perfect. Madrid, before say Madrid remember a player, they even make the player let you know say it is Madrid that's the dream club. And of course, on the performance and everything, I've printed that picture. It's added for you, the selling club, to resist the player from going. What Ibrahima Konate in common. Liverpool have the corner extension. The news from France is that Ibrahima Konate wants to stall and go to Madrid for free. Imagine this goes on for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 1 year. How will Liverpool give you that contract? How will Liverpool convince him? The media warfare is very important in this day and age in terms of negotiations. And that is where the Germans are also coming from. So, okay, Barca say, Ampampa, boy, pe Barca. Granted, they will also churn out the media information and then put it out there. Say, we are those who can negotiate with Liverpool. You cannot. They will bring that out and they make you look like, okay, the only place viable for him is to go there. And then, as far as Barca and Sema, I don't take AS Darius too serious. AS Darius is reporting, say, Lico, my friend, say, Luis Diaz will be for conditions. And yes, say, Obeko for free. But that Barca will pay a certain amount of money to him. So many teams registered in time, and now Mundo say there are no conditions on the part of Luis Diaz. So the story is now building, and I think they are very, very interesting. Bayern have proper interest in him. Now, when is Bayern for away from Luis Diaz now, they've started going back to Chelsea for Christopher Nkunku. When was UEFA for sanction about Chelsea ne Villa Mosono? Chelsea has to sell. Chelsea has to sell and make revenue for about 60 million this summer. Players almost just on Beton, Axel de Sassi, Christopher Nkunku, Joao Felix, all of these players now on my Chelsea person Beton. Now, in trying to sell these players, no, Makacho, why Bayern needs an attacker? And one of them, Bayern friend Christopher Nkunku. Now, Bayern for have come back to the conversation for Bayern friend Christopher Nkunku. They've asked Chelsea for it's okay. That Ben a bit married a deal for Bayern friend Nkunku. That Ben a bit German abem. Nkunku survived and played very well German Bundesliga him. Technicality as a second striker, and Chelsea, once there is an offer for him, no, they will do a deal.
Before Oba Chelsea, no, he was the best player in the Bundesliga.
Bundesliga. Yeah. It's Bayern. I think it will help, especially now that Chelsea have brought in Joao Pedro. And this makes me be a kind of for Kubusu.
A league
exactly, or experience to him. And now Barca for them a contract extension to Ojek Shezini 2027. Inaki Pena will go this morning. That's what we are hearing. But then still, there's going to be a crunch meeting in the next few hours to days between Hansi Dieter Flick and then Abranche Freno, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Rich, meeting him, no. And Tiene say, Hansi Flick and the technical team, especially the analysts, no, they will do an analysis and show you to ter Stegen using data, the eye test, and then explain to Abranche Freno, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, why he doesn't fit them and why they want to move on from him. And I don't know analysis now. In this day and age, ABA Chelsea Muna still almost the same mistake with goalkeepers. So when you say Georgie Mamadashvili go Alisson Becker next season with Liverpool. And your crown after David Raya, Arsenal phone at the Kepa Arrizabalaga, at the number Beckham. You go to Man City and they have 2 top goalkeepers. 2 or 3 days or so ago, about Madrid boy. We mentioned that the difference maker in that Madrid team against Dortmund was Thibaut Courtois. And Barca believes strongly. Say, one guy has a market opportunity. He increases the quality of goalkeeping 2 or 3 notches higher. And say, even if it takes, okay, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, I can 3 years on the contract, so one guy they will do that. And that is where the conversation is coming. Who is the best goalkeeper in the Italian Serie A last season, a friend in Miles Villa. And Roma have completed a deal for him. Meaning, say in the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
One English Premier League team, goalkeeper is very important. Barca don't want to miss out on them, and they want to make sure so many players now on them. You see this week they made the deal for Brian Mbeumo. I'm saying this week there, Maya said whatever happens this week, Manchester United will finalize Brian Mbeumo Now, yeah, the animal could see. Rich, for the past 3 days now, boom, 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 booms are boys in FSK. Greens are things that the god of greens no yeah, Juma.
Okay.
So, you be could be codes no very clear on your board. No bit may take a screenshot. No bit may show with your radio so they are show for pen or paper. Natural. First one 20 F4 BCBD. Second one 20 F4 B8 F6. Third one 20 F4 B2 8F. Next one 20 3 F3 3D C3. Messi Subiem 20 F3 3D C3. And the last one 20 F3 37 F7. Good luck. Greens and go your coats. So my Richard, that's it.
Okay. Fifi, Fiifi-Manfred.